Now, basements can definitely be an issue for us as far as flooding is concerned.
Below grade, so there's a dozen ways that we can get water pouring into that basement during a storm.
Yep, that's exactly right. And that's why we recommend that you put a sump pump in your basement. Now, this one is an electric sump pump. It's what you typically see as your primary pump. Problem is, usually when you're flooding, it's because of a storm. And a lot of times when that happens, electricity goes out.
And that's not going to do you any good without electricity.
That's right. And that's why we recommend that you get a backup sump pump. Now, there's a couple different options that we have for that. Now, the first option we want to show you here is actually a battery-operated sump pump. Now, the way that this will work is it's actually plugged into the outlet when the electricity's on, and that keeps the battery charged. Once the electricity goes off, that battery kicks in, and that's what runs the pump.
For how long?
It'll run it for about 7 to 10 hours, and we do recommend that you replace that battery about every 2 years.
So 7 to 10 hours is pretty good peace of mind, but you could have a problem for a longer period of time.
Yeah, that's absolutely right, and that's why we also recommend the water-powered backup sump pump. Now with this one, basically what happens is you've got it attached to the city water line, and that water pressure will come down. When your sump fills, it'll lift that float. The city water will come in, it'll create a siphon, and it'll bring that water from your pit straight up out of the house.
And it'll literally run forever, or so long as you have city water pressure.
Yep, that's exactly right.
Not going to work on a well though, right?
It won't, because a well runs off of a pump, which needs electricity.
Okay.
Now, Kevin, one thing that every homeowner should know is where their main shutoff valve is.
All right, and in this house, it's right here. We've got the water coming in from the city, and then we've got the meter on the other side. And if you had a leak and you could get down here and turn that off, you'd be in great shape.
Yep, that's exactly right. And that's why we recommend to people that they put some sort of a tag on that so that if there is a problem, everyone knows where to go ahead and pull that valve.
Okay.
The problem is you have to know that there's a water leak, right? So something that we do recommend is some sort of a water leak detection system. There are several options for that. One, like this, is more of a passive system. You have to be home for it to work, and you put it down near any appliance that may leak.
And if it senses water, that's going to sound an alarm.
Yep, so that basically notifies you that there is a leak and that you need to either shut off the water at that individual system or you need to come down and turn off the water main.
Obviously battery powered here, but you've got to actually go and shut the system down.
Yes, that's exactly right. Now, there are a couple other systems that we have. We also have some whole house water leak detection systems.
And so how do these work?
Well, basically what you do is you have a sensor, just like you did upstairs, but now what happens is with this one, it's wireless. You put that sensor near the appliance. If there is any water leakage at all, then what happens is it'll send a message straight over here to your water main, and it'll actually shut the entire water system down for your house.
So this is a valve that you install right down here on the main, and then you can place these under, what, multiple toilets, sinks next to that washing machine, and any leak will shut down the whole house?
That's exactly right.
Now that's great.
Now another option we have is this whole house water leak detector, and this runs a little bit differently than the one we saw before. Basically what you see here is that it can tell how much water is actually flowing through your system, and if it gets to be too long of a time period that it's flowing continuously, it'll shut down the system altogether.
So it's not detecting water on the floor, it's detecting flow. And will it detect something as small as a drip?
Yeah, it absolutely will. Yep. And the great thing about this is that you can actually set it for two different settings, one while you're home and one while you're away.
So if you're at home, maybe set it to 15 minutes so that it doesn't shut down when you're taking a shower, but if the water ran for any longer, it would shut down. And if you're not at the house, well, set it for 30 seconds so that at any movement of water, it shuts down.
That's exactly right.
All right, well, I've never seen anything like that before, Michael. That's great.